2026 Honda Passport. There's a new Honda Passport SUV on the horizon, debuting with a Trail Sport trim for 2026. The current Passport is little more than a truncated Pilot with one fewer seating rows, if not as blatantly identical as the two-row Mazda CX-70 and three-row CX-90R. The next Passport will again be based on its larger brother, but now appears to go its own styling direction, with an identity more its own, if the teaser images Honda USA has released are anything to go by. The new car will share many of the same upgrades as the new Pilot, in all likelihood, including its new 285 horsepower 3.5-liter V6 engine, with both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive on the menu, along with that more capable Trail Sport off-road derivative. When is the 2026 Honda Passport coming out? The release date for the 2026 Honda Passport is expected to be early 2025, and some have speculated that it will arrive early enough to go on sale as a 2025 model, but this is not the case, as the 2025 Passport on Honda's website is still the old one and the new one is marketed as the 2026 Passport in the limited marketing information thus far available. Most likely, it will be officially revealed later in 2024, with the first deliveries starting sometime during the first half of 2025. 2026 Honda Passport price and competition. The starting price of the 2026 Honda Passport is expected to be around $44K-$45K, but we won't know for sure until Honda USA releases official pricing. At this stage, we don't even know what it will look like beyond vague teaser pics, never mind what it will cost. As a reminder, the current Passport starts at $42,400 MSRP for the base XLAWD. It will compete for sales with similarly priced midsize two-row SUVs such as the Mazda CX-70, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and more crossover-like cars such as the Toyota Crown Scania. If you need the third row that rivals such as the Kia Telluride, the Hyundai Palisade or new Santa Fe, or the Toyota Grand Highlander offer, you'd have to opt for the Honda Pilot, as the Passport is likely to retain its shorter body and be a two-row car only. The 2026 Passport's projected $45,000 price tag currently makes it one of the most expensive of the mentioned rivals, but inevitable year-on-year price increases may see them draw level with the Honda, come May 2026, so we reckon it's perfectly pitched. New Honda Passport exterior and colors. We have only seen vague, low-detail teaser images of the new Passport's exterior, and only of the new Trail Sport trim. It's immediately obvious that it's not just a Pilot clone, with distinctive front styling cues including squared-off C-shaped DRLs, which will be amber on the Trail Sport, and a bold Passport script beneath the Honda grille logo. The logo has two hexagonal slots on either side of it, with the ones closest to the headlight on the driver's side containing a Trail Sport script and logo. A clear indentation can be seen halfway down the bumper from the dead-ahead vantage point, indicating character lines or creasing applied to this item to lend some definition. Three interesting slots on the hood near the windscreen are open to interpretation, but could be a hood scoop. There isn't a great deal to be learned from Honda's heavily disguised profile view of a Trail Sport driving up a rugged trail, but we can see that space and practicality was prioritized, judging by the flat roof and fairly upright rear window. We have included a lightened and zoomed-in version of the image to provide a little more clarity. In terms of paint colors, the current Honda Passport shares most of the same palette as the latest Pilot, but Sonic Grey Pearl seems to have been replaced by Modern Steel Metallic. We expect the Passport to adopt the new Pilot's 8 available hues. Radiant Red Metallic, Platinum White Pearl, Crystal Black Pearl, Obsidian Blue Pearl, Diffused Sky Blue Pearl, Lunar Silver Metallic, Sonic Grey Pearl, Modern Steel Metallic, new. Honda Passport dimensions. The Honda Passport's dimensions will increase over that of its forebear, but we won't know by how much until the official figures are out. The Pilot has grown in wheelbase and length by between 3 and 4 inches, and its height is also up a smidge, though width has stayed virtually unchanged. The Passport used to be just over 7 inches shorter than the Pilot, so if this is still the case, we don't expect it to come in at much over 192 or 193 inches. We don't know whether the same kind of increases will apply to the slightly smaller Passport, we only know that it will be slightly bigger. So, with nothing solid to go on, there's little point in speculating too much about it. Curb weight will definitely increase, judging by the Pilot. Honda Passport engine and performance. The new Honda Passport will likely share its engine with the latest Pilot, replacing the long-running old SOHC 3.5-liter V6 for a DOHC version of the same size and with 5 HP more, for a total of 285 HP. It's dubbed the J35Y8, and it's the first Honda V6 engine with double overhead cams since the one in the first-generation Acura NSX. The old engine's bore, stroke, capacity, 60-degree bank angle, belt drive, and compression ratio carry over, but it loses the VTEC system and gains variable valve timing and switchable hydraulic lifters that enable cylinder deactivation. We're expecting that Honda will introduce a downsized turbocharged 4-cylinder at some point, and make use of its extensive hybrid expertise to develop a hybrid version, but we don't know what will eventually materialize, or to what extent. For what it's worth, the changes to the new NAV6 will keep it emissions compliant until at least 2030 if the rules don't change before then. The Passport also finally loses its ZF-sourced 9-speed automatic transmission, it's being replaced with Honda's own 10-speed automatic already seen in the Pilot. In terms of performance, we can't say much more until we have more information. We'll update this article once Honda shares more on the new Passport. The old Trail Sport is hardly an off-road SUV, with no dual-range transmission, all-season tires, and softer, not raised, suspension, so it was a soft-roader with an appearance package at most. The new one is promised to be more hardcore, and Honda vaguely claims it will have class-leading on-road and off-road dynamics and authentic off-road capability. If the new Pilot Trail Sport is an indication of what we can expect, the Passport Trail Sport will gain features such as full underbody skid plates, front and rear recovery hooks, and chunkier all-terrain tires to bolster its off-road credentials. The Pilot Trail Sport also boasts a 1-inch higher ground clearance. Gas mileage. The automaker has not released MPG figures for the 2026 Passport, but we can look at the latest Pilot to see what to expect. With the same powertrain and only a touch more weight, an AWD Passport should return about the same 19/25/21 mpg for the city/highway/combined cycles as the AWD Pilot. The Passport Trail Sport should closely follow the Pilot Trail Sport's 18/23/20 mpg. Should the Passport be offered in FWD, the FWD Pilot's best of 19/27/22 should be a fair bet for it. Honda Passport interior and cargo. As is customary, the Pilot and Passport will again share a front cabin, so we can see what the new Honda Passport's interior will look like from the current Pilot. Thoroughly redesigned, the dashboard will most likely share the same layout, with a horizontal styling theme borrowed from other contemporary Hondas such as the Accord and Civic. The touchscreen in this setup is a freestanding tablet-like item on top of the dashboard, and expect a 7-inch item in base trims and a 9-inch one in top trims. The driver information display should also measure 7 inches, increasing to a full 10.2-inch digital gauge cluster in the top trims. So far, the Accord's Google-based infotainment system and 12.3-inch touchscreen haven't made it over to the new Pilot, but we can but hope the two SUVs will get it in the near future. Taking more pointers from the latest Pilot, we expect the Honda Passport seats to be trimmed in cloth, leatherette, or leather as you go up the lineup's ranks, and there should be generous space inside for 5 occupants in 2 rows. It's also likely that the new Trail Sport trim will have its own unique look and feel. The second row legroom of the latest Pilot has increased by more than 2 inches over the old model, so we expect the latest Passport to also improve on the old one's interior space. As a reminder, The current Passport has 40 inches of headroom and 39.6 inches of legroom in the second row, so we're expecting the 2026 model's rear legroom to comfortably surpass 40 inches. In terms of trunk space, the Honda Passport should again improve, and judging by the new Pilot's improvement in overall trunk volume, the Passport may be able to hold 105 to 110 cubic feet of stuff with the second row folded.